The air, thick with the acrid tang of sulfur and choking dust, assaulted Dave's senses as he stumbled out of the time machine. The hum of the device still vibrated in his bones, a stark reminder of the journey that brought him to Pompeii, 79 AD, the year Mount Vesuvius was poised to unleash its fiery wrath. His mission? To prevent the eruption, a seemingly impossible task. But Dave, a physicist armed with logic and equations, carried a weapon, the Kronos stabilizer, a bulky contraption promising to manipulate tectonic plates and alter the course of history. He was a man out of time, his watch a jarring anachronism against the backdrop of togas and sandals. The city thrummed with chaotic energy, oblivious to the impending doom. The stench of unwashed bodies and the incessant cacophony of bartering vendors was a sensory overload, creating a deep disconnect between his knowledge of the future and the reality he had stumbled into. A gruff voice boomed behind him. "What is this?" A Roman soldier, his face etched with the harshness of a life lived under a brutal sun, stood before him, his spear pointed like a dagger. Dave, his heart hammering against his ribs, tried to explain his purpose, his words a jumbled mess of mangled Latin and frantic gestures. His efforts were met with suspicion, his presence perceived as a threat. He was thrown into the depths of the city's dungeons, the weight of his mission crushing him. Days turned into nights, hope dissolving with each passing hour. His technology was unstable, the return trip a gamble, and the future he was desperately trying to save felt bleak. One night, amidst the stench of damp stone and despair, a chilling realization struck him. The eruption, meant to happen in 79 AD, had been shifted to 2047, the year of his departure, his own time, his own future. He had inadvertently created a paradox, a catastrophic chain reaction, threatening to unravel the very fabric of time. His desperate attempt to alter history had become his own apocalypse. The weight of his error pressed down on him, suffocating. The future he had so desperately tried to save was irrevocably altered. He was not only a man out of time, but a man who had shattered it. His despair was a suffocating blanket. But then a glimmer of hope flickered. He remembered a quote from an ancient Roman text. "The gods play dice with the universe." Maybe, just maybe, he thought, the universe was playing dice with him. He had to change the odds, not by stopping the eruption, but by guiding it. He escaped the dungeon with the help of a sympathetic Roman citizen who saw the fear in his eyes. He returned to the Roman Forum, the Kronos stabilizer, now a symbol of his failure, standing as a silent testament to his misguided attempts to change fate. He couldn't stop the eruption, but he could steer it, redirect its path away from the bustling city towards the sparsely populated outskirts. The next few days were a frantic blur of adjustments, his hands trembling as he worked, the gears of the Kronos stabilizer grinding against the fabric of time, the air crackling with energy. He felt the tremors, the earth groaning beneath his feet, the prelude to a symphony of destruction. He felt the earth shift, the eruption diverting its course, the city spared from the wrath of Vesuvius. He watched from afar, his heart pounding in his chest as the ash rained down, a storm of destruction. The city was saved, the paradox neutralized. His own future, his own time, had been restored. He returned to his own time, a changed man. The journey through time, the quest to save humanity, had brought him face to face with the ultimate paradox. The price of saving the future is to sacrifice the present. The memory of Pompeii, the city choked by ash and dust, would forever be etched into his mind, a stark reminder of the fragility of time and the devastating consequences of playing with fate. He had gambled with the universe and won, but at a cost he could never fully comprehend. The Vesuvian Gambit had saved his future, but it had also irrevocably altered his past.